Hi, hello, I'm Michaela Kathleen. Happy New Year and happy 2020, and welcome to my new BookTube channel. Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen. Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen. Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen, and today I thought I would do a video of some of my favorite quotes. And I thought it was about time for another quotes video. Throughout history, all dictators, tyrants, and oppressors, whatever their ideology, have had one thing in common: the vicious prosecution of the written word. Hello, Mako. Do you want to join the video? Mako wanted to say hello. Where was I? Did you go? Hello, everyone. I am Michaela Kathleen.
My baby has decided to join me for this video, I guess.
And the final prompt is, what is your favorite warm reading accessory? My favorite warm reading accessory is my cat, Harry Baby. He always lays in the bed with me when I read. I will yell out to him, "Harry, I'm reading!" And he will hear the bed squeak and he will come running because he knows it's time to lay with Mama and read. Hello. So I realized I managed to completely forget an entire shelf, and so now here we are, days later. It's the outfit change. Oh, Harry, where are you going? I thought you wanted to be in the video. Don't play on that. Sorry about that. So hence the complete outfit change and the angle change and all of that. Yeah, I totally skipped this shelf by accident and oh no, stop it, no. Harry Baby really wants to lay on my coat. Harry has massively distracted me from this video. So yeah, Harry, what are you doing? He's being a little monster. Harry's decided you don't get to see this shelf. Harry, can you stop cleaning yourself? Can you just lay like a pretty boy? Thank you. So, I prefer to read here in my bed with Harry Baby. He loves to read with me, and he apparently really wants to give himself a bath right now. But yeah, me and Harry love reading together. Mako does not love reading with me as much. She's not as cuddly with me as Harry Baby is. Hi, Mako. Hello, everyone. I'm Michaela Kathleen, and in this video, I'm doing my February reading wrap-up. But before that, I have news, a surprise, and that is a cat. I'm gonna go get him. I didn't want to force him to sit here for a long intro, but he will be here soon. This is Bobo. Our new cat Bo likes to read with me, just like our own cats did. Cats always love to read with people. May I sit here? I suppose here. Go. I don't think that's good. Trying it again. Okay, this position apparently works. Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen, and in this video, I'm doing my November reading wrap-up with Bobo. Stop trying to attack me. I read 5 books in November, starting with Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. Today, I'm doing my first recommendations video based on your Hogwarts house. So yeah, these are 4 books that I would recommend for any Hufflepuff. So yeah, these are 4 recommendations that I would give to anybody in Ravenclaw house. So yeah, these are my 4 recommendations for anyone in Slytherin. So these are my 4 recommendations for any Gryffindor.
going to be quizzing my boyfriend on some bookish questions related to me.
I feel like it's The Fault in Our Stars, but I've already guessed that about 3 times, I think.
You have.
Oh no.
This one I have not told you. I have told you which one I read to my dad.
I'm gonna...
6 out of 10.
Passing.
Indeed.
Yeah.
For this video, I'm going to be quizzing my mom on some of my bookish preferences. 10? Yeah? What is my least favorite book? Oh, God damn it. 10 out of 10. So, my first photo comes from what I call my too cool for school phase. My next phase was my taekwondo phase. My next phase was my acting phase. My next phase was my scene phase. My final phase, doing a complete 180 from my first phase, was my girly phase. So yeah, these books can kind of represent some different phases in my life. Oh, I feel like I should recognize it because of this upturned corner. I know you. I know you.
How much you...
Oh, because Hunger Games! I knew I recognized it from very recent reread. Oh, The Hate You Give. Oh, this is a tiny baby. Oh. You are... Oh, Last Book in the Universe.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Rainbow!
Can you say "oh fuck" on your video?
Yes, I can. Oh my god, I hate myself. No. There's no. What part of the book is that? No way. Okay, The Last Book in the Universe is like my favorite book, so I'm very disappointed in myself now. No. Aragon. Trickster! Striped like that. I don't know. Oh my. Oh, I'm doing the Know Your Shelf challenge.
Twilight.
Oh, easy.
No.
Oh. The
Not
first book?
the vampire ones.
Do I have another book called Twilight?
It appears you do. Do you need a hint for 1 point?
Maybe? Hold on, no, let me think. I own another book that's titled Twilight.
If my vision does not deceive
Oh,
me...
The Cats, Warriors. Haha.
That's good, I suppose. Next
Wait.
one.
So I'm going to be playing a game of book-themed MASH. The first category is, of course, the classic category, what kind of a house am I going to live in? So, my next house is going to be King's Cross Station. I must be incredibly rich in my future. I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so now we need to figure out where that house is going to be located. Because yes, apparently I have the funds to not only buy King's Cross, but to also potentially relocate it somewhere else in the world. I am one day going to live in King's Cross Station, but only after I somehow relocate the station from the UK, from London, over to Greece. So actually, let's go back to the beginning of the chapter and see if it mentions how they got to that fast food restaurant. Biked there. He biked there on his bicycle. So I drive a bicycle in the future, which is very planet-friendly of me. Probably just whichever character's mentioned first, I will have whatever job they have. The first character mentioned on this page is Nikolai, so I'm gonna be royalty, I guess. Fun times. But here we go. Page number 209. Whichever character is mentioned first on that page, I will be marrying. What troubles have we here? Asked Mr. Onimus. Onimus. His name is pronounced Onimus. We shall see where this honeymoon is taking us. Page number 163. It mentions on this page that it's August, so we're just gonna go ahead and say that our honeymoon is in August, but let's see where it is. I really feel like it was Iceland. Longyearbyen, which is a town in, again, I really want to say Iceland, but I'm not 100% sure. Svalbard, it's all it says. That sounds very Icelandic to me, but I don't know. Svalbard, Flambards, Svalbard. Dumb American. She's in the Arctic. What? She's just hanging out in the Arctic? The literal Arctic? And again, just the first character mentioned is going to be my child. Which basically only leaves me, Dexy. Dexy is going to be my child. And that is about the extent of my knowledge on Dexy. I really don't know much about my own child. So, in summary, I'm going to be living in King's Cross Station, but I'm going to be relocating it to Greece. I'm going to be married to Mr. Onimus from the Charlie Bones series. We're going to be honeymooning in the Arctic. Our first child will be Dexy, a girl we barely know. We're going to have a pet stag. I'm going to be telling all these crazy life adventures to my best friend Amber from the Prophecy of the Stones. And I'm going to be traveling to my job as a royal on a bicycle. I'm going to be playing a game of reread, rewrite, burn. So I must pick one to reread, one to rewrite, and one to burn. I think I'm gonna burn Beth Cooper because I'll still have the movie to watch. And now between these, I have to pick one to reread and one to rewrite. I think I'm gonna rewrite The Grace Year. I did enjoy it quite a bit, but I do think that some of the pacing of it could be fixed, although this one also kind of has pacing issues at times. But yeah, this one's just a childhood favorite, so I'm just gonna reread it and love it. And then finally we have Alex and Eliza, and I unhauled this one. So just gonna get it right out there. Gonna burn this one. And then between these two, the choice is easy. I am rereading Princess Academy and rewriting The One Memory of Flora Banks. Obviously I'm burning 13 Reasons Why, but these two. So maybe I'm gonna cop out and say I'm rereading The Fault in Our Stars and rewriting the third Hunger Games. It's my game and I get to do that. No, the book was so much worse. So I'm gonna burn that one. And then yeah, I'm gonna reread The First Girl Child and rewrite If I Stay. If I really could make an off-the-wall, out of the game, the bounds of the game choice here, I would give this one a movie. Oh no, which one am I gonna burn? Certainly not Tiger Lily. Okay, am I burning The Poet X or The Handmaid's Tale? I think I'm gonna burn The Handmaid's Tale. Once again, we have a TV show of this that overall I enjoy more than the book. I'm gonna rewrite The Poet X, maybe sprinkle in some just regular prose, and I'm gonna reread Tiger Lily. And again, sadly burn The Handmaid's Tale, don't judge me. The book that has been #1 on my wish list for basically my entire life was just announced that it's being adapted into a Netflix movie, so I'm dying. I'm so excited. So jumping right into my wish list of book adaptions I would like to see, #1 on the list is Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. Next, I have a book that has already been adapted, but I feel like we deserve better, and that is Eragon by Christopher Paolini. Next, I have A Man Called Uva by Frederick Bachman. I'm going to be recommending books about books. So jumping right in, the first one I have is Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. Next I have My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry by Frederick Bachman. Next I have Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia, and Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Next I have a childhood favorite, and that is Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. Next I have another childhood favorite, and that is Princess Academy by Shannon Hale. Next I have The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. So quickly running through some dystopians, I've got The Last Book in the Universe by Ronman Philbrick, but the next dystopian I have is the classic Fahrenheit 451, and then finally, of course, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. So anyways, the first World War II story I have is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. But the other one I have is a true World War II story, and that is The Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio Iturbe. Happy Halloween! Really showing my early O's girlness here. And I went with Polly Pocket. These are some of the references that I used to build this look. Of course, had to go with some pink accessories for Polly. Polly was really my #1 girl. My top 10 favorite horror/Halloween movies. Next, #2 on the list is the prequel for Silence of the Lambs, Red Dragon. It's just the movie that started that few-year kick of being super into scary movies. And that movie is 1408. And now finally, number one on my list, my all-time favorite Christmas movie ever. This is the one that is kind of my official family Christmas movie. We've always watched this one every year with my parents, and that is The Grinch. If you like The Grinch, you might like A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. But for this one, I'm recommending Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. And so if you like Fred Claus, I'm recommending Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. So for this one, I would recommend Dear Emma by Katie Heaney. And for this one, I'm recommending If I Stay by Gail Foreman. And so this one very strongly reminds me of and makes me recommend Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. In this video, I'm going to be doing my 2020 wrap-up. Of course, my very first video I posted on January 1st last year, and that was my BookTube newbie tag, which I still kind of enjoy that video. Like, I don't think I have some other videos that I feel like are more cringy than this one, which was my first one. Today's video, I'm doing my 2021 year roundup. This year I joined the Storygraph, so I read 46 books this year, which is 102% of my goal. Good for me putting that extra 2% of effort in. Started strong in January, and then yeah, for the rest of the year stayed pretty even. You viewers watched 10,000 minutes of viewing on my channel, and then I also made my own Earth Day tag, which was fun, and that is the first video that I've come up with the idea for that someone else has done. Triumphal Reads did it over on his channel, so go check out his video. I also did some of my first ever decor videos this year. As I mentioned earlier, I participated in an online book tour, which Eric over at Break Even Books invited me to, and that was super fun. I brought to a close my quotes videos, which I used to do one each month, and then I started my little top 10 series. I did videos for Black History Month and Women's History Month, and kind of my favorite video that I did this year was I did MASH Book Edition. In this video, I'm doing my 2022 wrap-up. And my top 5 were fantasy, contemporary YA, dystopian, romance, and nonfiction. Of course, I already talked about number 1, that is Skyward. But next we have Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman, my top author of the year. And then we have King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. I read both of the Nikolai duology this year, and I really enjoyed King of Scars. I enjoyed them both, but that one was the winner. At number 4, I put Sadie by Courtney Summers. And then finally, at number 5, we have Neal Shusterman once again with Dry. Today's video is the Bookish Academy Awards 2021. 2 of the books in this category are actually my top 2 favorite book covers in all of my book collection. So yes, unsurprisingly, the winner here is The Thousandth Floor by Katharine McGee. While I do really like the Hunger Games adaptions, I have to give this one to The Handmaid's Tale. The show expanded so much upon the book and made it even better. So yes, Best Director this year is Scott Westerfeld. And the winner of Best Picture is The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. I am talking about Barnes & Noble's first 5 book of the years, and I liked this one a lot. This one did not work for me as well, but in the end, I decided to read their pick for Best Speculative Fiction that year, and I did enjoy it a whole lot. And then year 4 brought us Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. For the reading vlog, I read the book and I watched the TV show, and it was just such a fun experience. And then our final book of the year for the first 5 book of the years from Barnes & Noble was The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. But this one I will definitely not be reading again. I am unhauling this one. So yeah, we definitely have a bit of a mixed bag here in the first 5 years of the Barnes & Noble Book of the Year. I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite books of all time. Number 10 is Kids of Appetite by David Arnold. Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson. Number 8 on my list of top 10 favorite books is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. We have The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Number 6 on my list is The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. Number 5 on my list is Princess Academy by Shannon Hale. So, number 4 on my list is The Uglies series by Scott Westerfeld. Number 3 in the top 3 is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. And down to the end, number 2 on my list, The Last Book in the Universe by Rodman Philbrick. And then the final book on my list, my number 1 favorite book of all time, which you may already be able to guess, is the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. And this one is going to be my top 10 favorite sitcoms. My number 1 favorite show. It's a weird one, I'll admit. My number 1 favorite sitcom of all time is Boy Meets World. I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite comedy movies. And finally, number 1 on my list is the Austin Powers series. Top 10 favorite movies that are dramas. Next, number 2 on my list is another Clint Eastwood movie, and that is Changeling. I had to include Forrest Gump kind of in the same way that I had to include Titanic. And then the other one is The Green Mile. I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite albums, and that is, at the number 1 spot, Miley Cyrus's Bangers. My top 10 favorite superhero media, I guess, because I'm including TV shows and movies. And finally, number 1 on my list is Spider-Man. And by this, I mean any Spider-Man movie. So I'm going to be doing a Pixar tier ranking. We're starting on kind of a controversial one, and that is Toy Story. I'm gonna put it in silver medal. Next, we have Monsters, Inc., and this is the start of the Pixar Golden Age. So moving on, of course, the next movie, Finding Nemo, is also going to land in that Golden Age tier. And then finally, ending the Pixar Golden era was Cars. So next we have Ratatouille, which brought to an end the Golden Age of Pixar. Next, we have our very first one that is landing in the mid-tier Pixar, and that is Up. Next, we have the first film outside of what I consider to be Pixar's Golden Age to get up to that Golden Age standard and land in that tier, even though it did not exist within Pixar's actual Golden Age, or what I consider to be their Golden Age in my mind. And that is Toy Story 3. We have finally arrived at Cars. Oh no! Oh no. So, I just realized that I labeled the bottom tier Cars 3, and I meant Cars 2. You all know what I meant. We all know what Cars 2 is. The bottom tier is Cars 2. Cars 3 is great. So we finally arrived at Cars 2, which is what the bottom tier is supposed to be named after. Okay, now we are on to Cars 3, which is very different than Cars 2, which is the worst Pixar movie ever. Cars 3, which is not the bottom tier category, in fact, belongs in the top tier category, Pixar's Golden Age. Toy Story 4 for me was mid-tier Pixar. I felt it was a completely unnecessary sequel. We have Onward, which is the only Pixar movie that's not in the proper Golden Age and is not a sequel that lands for me in the Golden Age tier. So yeah, that is my entire tier ranking for every Pixar movie. I'm going to be tier ranking maps in books with an acceptable map, a nice baseline. We have the map of Finburn from Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. Next we have the City of Ember. which this map is not particularly beautiful like the map of Finburn, but it is very easy to read and very detailed, and so I put this one in the informative category. My number one favorite map in any book, we have The Land of Allegasia from The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. Next up, we have our first book that doesn't contain a map, but I so wish that it did, and that is The Prophecy of the Stones by Flavia Bujor. And it's stretched over 2 different pages, which I really do not like. Although it at least has the nice break, it's not like it's actually stretched over the crack of 2 pages. We have a map on the list that is like that. It's not great. But next we do have an icon, and that is The Land of Elyon by Patrick Carman. This is another one that I think is not like super well known. Next we have another book that I wish dearly had a map, and that is Uglies by Scott Westerveld. Next we have our one and only illegible map in this tier ranking, and that is the map from The Lost World, which is the sequel to Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. But yeah, this is what we've got to work with. It's terrible. Next, we have the map from the original Warriors series by Aaron Hunter, and I always loved these maps, and so these for me are definitely icon. And then finally, we have Middle-earth from Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. And I don't like it when maps are hard to read, but still, I mean, clearly this one is an icon, whether I have a connection to it or not, and whether I like how the words are set up or not. And in today's video, I'm doing the engagement book tag, because over the New Year's, I got engaged. The Proposal, a book that surprised you with how much you loved it. And for me, that would be A Man Called Uva by Frederick Bachman. Prompt number 2 is yes. What is a book that you immediately knew would be a 5-star read? And that one for me is Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. Prompt number 3 is The Fiancé. What is your partner's favorite book? And for both me and him, that is the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. Prompt number 4 is The Ring, Symbol of Eternal Love. What is a book that you always turn to? And for me, that is The Last Book in the Universe by Rodman Philbrick. Next, prompt number 5 is The Engagement. Becoming a team. Name a favorite fictional couple. And one of my favorite fictional couples is Kaz and Inej from Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. And finally, prompt number 6 is The Future. What book on your TBR are you most excited for? I'm gonna go with one that is much further down on my TBR, but that I am still so excited for, and that is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I'm doing a brand new original tag that I created called the Engagement Photo Book Tag. The first one I have is The Ring. What book do you most treasure? And for me, that is my leather-bound edition of Harry Potter and the Chamber of the Secrets. Prompt number 2 is The Golden Hour. What book has the best atmosphere? And for me, that is Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson. Prompt number 3 is Secret to Tell. What book has the best plot twist? And for me, that is Uglies by Scott Westerveld. Prompt number 4 is Bear Hug. What character do you just want to give a hug to? And for me, that is Uva from A Man Called Uva by Frederick Bachman. Prompt number 5 is Cheers. Name a character that you would want to go drinking with. And for me, that is Tyrion Lannister from A Game of Thrones. Prompt number 6 is The Kiss. Name a character you would want to kiss. Fictional characters are still fair game for me, and so I would still want to kiss Peeta Mellark from The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Prompt number 7 is Dancing. What book makes you so happy you could dance? And for me, that is Princess Academy by Shannon Hale. And finally, prompt number 8 is Black and White. Name a book that is either historical fiction or is an older book. And for this one, I'm going with a historical fiction, and that is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. And I'm here today with a brand new book tag that I created myself. and it is called The Old New Borrowed Blue book tag. So starting off with my something old. My something old is my engagement ring. The book that I've owned the longest, other than maybe some of my Harry Potter books, is The Last Book in the Universe by Rodman Philbrick. So next, my something new is my wedding band, and as far as one of the newest books on my shelves, I have Youngbloods by Scott Westerfeld. Next, moving on to my something borrowed, which is another ring. I'm borrowing a ring from my mom, which this is just a ring that I borrow from her pretty consistently, and for a borrowed book, I don't really borrow books from people ever. I don't borrow books from the library either, but I do take books from free little libraries. And so yeah, for this one, I'm going with The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. Next, we have my something blue. So I have these hair clips for my something blue, and for this one, I'm going to select a book with a blue cover, and the one I went with was Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. And then finally we have The Lucky Sixpence in My Shoe. I got myself a Lucky Sixpence from Amazon, and so for this one, the prompt for the book side of it is to select a book that you feel lucky to have, and so I'm going with this signed copy of Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, and I am officially married! So I thought it would now be fun to do a wedding photo book tag. The first one I have is, of course, the dress. And for this one, the prompt is, what character is the star of the show? I do have a character that I read earlier this year for the first time that I absolutely fell in love with, and that character was Mbot from Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Prompt number 2 is the flowers. The prompt for this is name a book that takes place in nature. And I weirdly always associate the Ugly series by Scott Westerfeld with nature. Prompt number 3 is the celebration. What character would you want to invite to your wedding to celebrate with you? And for this one, I considered going with Kath from Fangirl just because I feel like we would be really good friends. But I feel like a wedding isn't necessarily her scene, so instead I'm going with Miri from Princess Academy. Speaking of parties, prompt number 4 is The Party. Pick a book with a great cast of characters. And for this one, I'm going with Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Prompt number 5 is The Details. Name an author whose writing style you love. And an obvious one for me for this one would have been John Green, who is my favorite author, and I do love his writing style. There's just something about it. But I'm going to go instead with Frederick Bachman. Prompt number 6 is The Cake. Name a character who is sweet. And I was kind of debating between 2 on this one, but one thing pushed it over the top for me. The pun of picking Peeta the baker from The Hunger Games. And finally, prompt number 7 is The Couple. Name 2 characters that you want to have a happily ever after. And for this one, I would have gone with Kaz and Inej from Six of Crows because I love them and I want to see the happily ever after for them, but I already used that book, so I'm gonna go with a different couple, and I'm going with Peter and Tinkerbell from Peter Pan. I'm doing my first ever reading vlog, and that book is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. So I'm going to try to do like a really close read and watch along. See, I guess. Dibenzocellophane. Big words in this book. Here we go, episode 2. And so once again, I just continue to like the show better than the book. And I really enjoyed this whole reading experience and watching experience. Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen, and in this video, I'm doing my first ever TBR game. Oh, I lose another non-existent book. Woo! Alright, my first fun prompt. And this one is... Pick a book that's been on your TBR so long the coffee has gotten cold. So yeah, Queenie by Candace Carty-Williams. Okay, in the closet I have The Greatest Love Story Ever Told by Megan Mullally and Nick Offerman, and I think I'm gonna go with this one. I should do this one because it's not a series, so I'm not like committing to something as big. I think so. Why is this thing thumbs upping me? I've never used this program on which I'm recording on my computer. My husband is going to be picking my August TBR by playing my TBR game. The Elephant in the Garden, which is a World War II story.
Oh no.
Oh, that is a take a book away square. We're down to 0 books.
Pick a book that came from a little free library.
Husband has selected A Little Life.
Oh no, if only we could pick a YA. It's another elimination square.
Husband has picked Gallant by V.E. Schwab. Husband has picked Carry On by Rainbow Rowell.
Oh no.
Oh no. Alright, are you removing Rainbow or Schwab?
Schwab.
Husband has selected The Witcher. Figure that you don't want them knowing your name. You're a private person. I am doing an itty bitty, teeny tiny little tattoo tour.
Oh my god, the sunlight. So this is the tattoo in question, my family tattoo. This is the second star to the right and Straight On Till Morning, Neverland. The star above the eye is, you know, the left star.
But before I move on to those, I still have to do a book recommendation for my first tattoo. And for my family tattoo, I am recommending Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo, our favorite song, and so this was our father-daughter dance. But I will show it on my foot now. This one does not have as much story behind it. There's less to it, there are less different elements. It is literally just the father-daughter dance from my wedding. But the book that I'm recommending for my What You Give tattoo is Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. And I ended up thinking about this Billie Eilish song called My Future, and I picked out a lyric from that song. And I went with, you can see it, Aren't I Someone? And my recommendation for this tattoo is Loveless by Alice Oseman. Thanks for watching. Remember, words matter. Thanks for watching. Remember, words matter. Thanks for watching. Remember, words matter.